Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my broke ass daddy.
That's awful.
No, I wasn't saying that. I was asking.
Nah, okay. Yeah, that's right. Ladies and gentlemen. Say it like just like this. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my broke ass daddy. That's it.
Okay. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh God, I can't do it because I see myself. Okay.
You awful.
I am. Ladies and gentlemen, please, God, Jesus Christ.
I am. You called?
Shut up. I just realized what you said.
What up, niggas? My daughter came over here today, and she was dressed in black. Uh-oh. She just came from a funeral. Somebody she know, not in her immediate family. And she came over here telling me about she went to the funeral. I asked her, was anybody acting a fool, you know, as far as crying and all that? And she was like, nah, it's just one person. She said it was pretty much boring, and she said that she said she should have called me to come to the funeral, liven that motherfucker up. And I was like, yeah. If she would have asked me for real, I would have went, and I ain't bullshit. See, I've been freaking motherfuckers out with all this shit going on, because, you know, as I said before, God's people, we are considered weak, dumb, and all this shit. And these wicked ass people, they considered the strong and privileged and intelligent and all this shit, you know. Obviously, over the last number of years and months, the truth of who we really are is being thrown in everybody's face. And when it comes to somebody like me in particular, these so-called big bad motherfuckers are displaying their cowardness and weakness and the fact that they some goddamn dummies, and it's not me, it's not us. So with all this craziness going on now in the world, not just my family, but you got all this coronavirus shit, and all this death, these motherfuckers who's supposed to be so goddamn strong, they like, yeah, all freaking out and shit. While me, I'm like this, chilling like a motherfucker. Now, of course, like I said, they coming to me in some way, shape, or form to get answers, and so they can feel secure and shit. Yeah. Goddamn demons in the flesh coming to me to feel secure. Just goes to show you how fucked up these motherfuckers are. Hanging around me, heathens, demons in the flesh, so they can be secure. Obviously, they ain't woke up enough yet to know who the fuck I really am.
The Grim Reaper, the Grim Reaper, the Grim Reaper, the Grim Reaper, the Grim Reaper.
So my daughter going to this funeral and talking about she should have called me and all that shit. And then I forgot about this shit. And I said, wait a minute. Did they make y'all wear masks? And she said, yep. Everybody in that funeral was wearing a mask. I was like, oh my God. How the fuck did I forget about that shit? I have yet to wear a mask during this bullshit. And it ain't just about the principle of the thing. Because like I said, we all gotta do what we gotta do. Specifically those of us who know that this shit is fake, I'm talking about. You gotta wear a mask to go in the store. You gotta wear a mask to keep your job. It is what it is. I have yet to wear a mask yet. Because first of all, I'm a broke ass nigga, and I ain't got shit to be buying any fucking way. If I need a bar of soap, toothpaste, then these motherfuckers going back and forth to the store, I just had them pick that shit up for me. Other than that, I'm going to the gas station, give me a pack of cigarettes. And if it gets to the point where they start talking shit and you can't come in there without a mask, I put the fucking mask on, get my cigarettes, and I'm taking that motherfucker off. But other than that, I'm not gonna be walking around with no goddamn mask. But I'm sitting here like, okay, she went to a funeral and everybody at this funeral is wearing a mask. There's no way I could have went in that motherfucker. And it ain't just about the fact that I ain't wearing a mask and all that shit. It's the fact that because I know what the fuck is going on, I know about all this crazy shit. I warned everybody for many, many years, and I ain't just talking about YouTube. I've been talking about this shit for 3 motherfucking decades. And I'm laughing at this shit. I'm laughing about all this shit. Just like I talked about the funeral, my dad's funeral. The only reason that funeral was bad for me was based on all the shit that happened prior to that. And like I said, I probably had 1 hour of sleep those 3 days leading up to the funeral. So 72 hours, out of 72 hours prior to the funeral, I had 1 hour of sleep. So I was mentally fucked up, drained, and all that shit. Other than that, I enjoyed the shit out of that motherfucking funeral. Why? Because I was laughing my ass off at these weak ass motherfuckers who's supposed to be so big, bad, and tough and all this shit. Crying like they crazy and shit because they are. Yep, I was laughing my ass off. And this coronavirus shit that's going on, I'm laughing now. So, my daughter going to a funeral, talking about she should have called me to come to the funeral. There's no way I could have went. And it ain't about the mask as far as me wearing one. It's about the fact that if I'd have went in that motherfucker and saw all them dummies sitting there with a goddamn mask, I would have been laughing my ass off. I would have had to turn around and leave. So it is what it is. And a lot of people, of course, these wicked people, they don't understand this kind of shit. You know, why would you be laughing at this shit and, you know, all these people dying? First of all, these people ain't shit. These people are wicked. These people are antichrist. These people are pedophiles. These people are demons. These people are murderers. And they've been using the shit out of us, laughing and giggling, Now the shoe's on the other foot. So I'm gonna laugh at your ass. And people better recognize, they always talking about the Bible, believing everything that's in the Bible. It's right there in the Bible. God said he gonna be laughing at these motherfuckers. Yep. Now he didn't curse, but yeah. Yeah, you gotta be all nice and sweet. But you know, it's right there in the Bible. That God gonna be laughing at these fools. Yep. Uh-huh. This YouTube shit that I just got back into, one of the things that I was not gonna do is this fucking shit that I had already done concerning talking about Illuminati and Obama. Excuse me. It's like, been there, done that. I like to move forward. That's what the guys do. You gotta move forward. Next level. Obviously, when it comes to Obama and the Illuminati, coronavirus, obviously, I was gonna talk about a lot of that shit in the video that I'm planning on making about my situation with this so-called family that went down late last year, 2019. Now, I just made that video, Hereditary, and I mentioned Obama 2 or 3 times in that video, but as y'all know, that part of the video where I was actually talking about the movie Hereditary, I made that video last year in 2019 for my subscriber. So, like I said, just coming back and wasn't planning on talking about Obama and all this shit until I make this main video about what happened to me last year. Yet, I'm always connected with that nigga in some way, shape, or form. So just before I came back to YouTube and uploaded videos on August 15th, there was an explosion, which is basically an attack. It was a missile in Lebanon, Beirut, you know. And I was reading this article on, I think it was WashingtonPost.com, and they were talking about some kind of chemicals that they had over there that was stockpiled and shit, and that shit was from the U.S. Yeah, like now what the fuck is some chemical ammonium type nitrate, whatever the fuck they said, whatever the fuck they said. What the fuck is that shit doing over in another country? You know, and they just happened to have this explosion, and there was a video put up by the Exalted Lamb YouTube channel, Exalted Lamb 1, showing that there was a missile that hit that place. And of course, eventually, he made the connection with that shit concerning Obama. Now, again, here we go, me being connected to this nigga. I come back to YouTube, upload these videos on August 15th. August 4th, we got this explosion where this missile hit this particular area in Lebanon, Beirut. And of course, it just happened to happen on August 4th, Obama's birthday. And of course, YouTube channel, The Exalted Lamb, he made that connection with this explosion with Obama, with the iPad Goat 2 shit again, showing the clips of that shit with he's saying it's basically the birth of the Antichrist and shit. And of course, there's been a number of events and people are saying that this is the birth of the Antichrist and all that shit. But he's saying this shit again about this incident And it is true. The thing is, we have these type of events, and there's always situations like this where it's like an ascension process. You go through certain levels. We all go through it, because any other videos that's talking about this is the birth of the Antichrist and shit, it ain't that they wrong. It's just that there's a process with this shit, levels and levels and shit going on. Like I said, with this ascension shit, this is one of the reasons why shit was so weird last year. Not just for me, but for everybody. Between August of 2019 going into the new year. During that time, we was going through some major ascension processes. And this is why so much crazy shit was happening. And it led up to all this coronavirus shit. It's a number of reasons why they did that shit. But this was about distractions and waking up the wicked people, leading them to this situation that they about to get into. This motherfucking mark of the beast. Paul Bagley. And then that fucking video that I made, Hereditary. For those of you who don't know, when you make a video, when you upload a video on YouTube, you have to put tags in the video, certain words, names, and shit like that, that the video is about. That way, when people are searching through YouTube for a certain topic, you know, your video will show up in the search engine, you know, supposedly. Yeah, unless you're somebody like me. Censored. Banned. Yeah. So like I said, when I came back, I wasn't planning on talking about Obama, Illuminati, none of that shit anytime soon until I make that main video. But when I put the tags in the video for Hereditary, of course I put names and words like, you know, Antichrist, Lucifer, Satan, all this shit. And I was like, okay, I mentioned Obama a few times in this video, but I'm not going to put his name in the tags for this video. Yet, after I signed out of Google, YouTube, whatever you want to say, I went to the front page of YouTube and my video showed up in the recommendation section, you know. And right up under there was a video about Obama as a recommendation, which means obviously there's a connection, you know, based on the tags and shit, and you know, that you put in the video and what the video is about. So I'm like, okay, wait a minute, I didn't put that motherfucker's name in my video, yet a video about Obama showed up. Now obviously it's because most people who are making videos about Obama, they calling him the Antichrist. And of course I put the tag, the name Antichrist, in the tag, you know, in the tag section or whatever of that video. With all the censorship that's going on and the way YouTube is fucking with the algorithms, preventing people's videos from showing up and all that shit. Yeah, here we got this video that I didn't mention Obama's name. I didn't put it in the tags. And yet another video shows up talking about him being the fucking Antichrist. If they wanted to, they wouldn't allow that shit to happen. Yet people are making videos calling this motherfucker Antichrist. And that shit is showing up in the search engine. Why? Because he's the fucking Antichrist. And they want everybody to know it. These motherfuckers, like I said, they love attention. They're not trying to hide, they're not trying to hide nothing that they are doing. It's beyond mockery. Like I said, they be doing a lot of this shit to mock these motherfuckers. A lot of the shit they be doing as far as rituals, you know, is to, like I said, not just to mock these idiots. that's just a little, that's just something they do. Just to, I guess you could say, just to a little side thing to enjoy themselves, putting the truth in these motherfuckers' face, mocking the shit out of them, telling them the truth, and they like, it ain't real, yeah, that type shit. But they do this shit, a lot of these rituals, so they can manifest these events. This is why, for September 11th, for example, it wasn't just about, like I say so many times, they have to tell us the truth, which is obvious. And it's not just about mockery. They have to, for example, talking about September 11th, they will put this shit in the movies, commercials, music, TVs, and all this shit, because everybody's seeing that shit. And we are creators. So when we see these subliminal messages, like 911 and all this shit, we help create that event. And they have to do these things for that reason at the same time, doing these rituals and doing certain things, sacrificing and all that shit for these demons, the higher up demons and fallen angels. They got to do this type of shit so they can get the shit done where the event that they want to do will manifest. And it's like, this is how these motherfuckers stay in power. This is how they get rich. This is how this money and everything comes to them, because they doing all this shit for these fallen angels with these rituals and putting number 6 everywhere and all this shit, and 666 and all this shit. That way these demons and these fucking fallen angels will bless them, do certain things for them, get these events done, bring money and wealth and success and fame into their life. This is how these motherfuckers get to where they are. This is what these rituals is about. Getting us to see these subliminal messages, we as creators helping manifest that shit. And then doing all kinds of sacrifices and whatever else for these wicked ass fallen angels and shit. They do certain things for them. And next thing you know, these average idiots are all special and got all kinds of talent all of a sudden, yeah. Like motherfucking, I used to talk shit about Jimmy Fallon. I used to think that motherfucker was so goddamn corny. I didn't think that dude was funny at all. All of a sudden one day I'm seeing this motherfucker, he just doing all kinds of impressions and shit and sound just like the person. He funny as shit. I'm like, what the fuck happened to this motherfucker? How the fuck did he get talent? All of a sudden, just out of the clear blue sky, that motherfucker ain't got no talent. All of a sudden, this motherfucker funny. It ain't just about motherfuckers writing for him, ghostwriters and all that shit. Like I said, doing impressions that he ain't done before. Calling on those goddamn demons. Doing their rituals. And these motherfucking spirits and all that shit come into these motherfuckers like hereditary, yeah. Next thing you know, they some new creatures. And these non-talented motherfuckers all of a sudden got talent and shit, yeah. But yeah, I'm just out here talking shit. What is it like, I don't know the date. But it's Friday. And and I ain't got shit to do. I'm out here talking shit. This fucking hereditary shit. Yep, hereditary. Me and you, whoever's watching this video, all of us. And when I talked about recommending that movie Hereditary to my subscriber, I compared it to The Exorcist. Not from the standpoint of it's just as good as The Exorcist or better or anything like that. I just compared it to The Exorcist, the movie The Exorcist. Because in my opinion, there was no movie that was ever made that affected people on the level of The Exorcist. until this movie Hereditary came out. And with all the shit going on and waking up to who I am, we waking up to who we are, and all these connections and signs and all that shit. My subscriber said something that I was thinking about, talking about that movie, The Exorcist. She was like, you know that movie came out the same year you was born. That ain't no fucking coincidence. The Exorcist was like the beginning. I ain't just talking about for me, I'm talking about for all of us. In a sense, that movie, symbolically, it was like the beginning. And that movie Hereditary, that's the end. And like I said, I only compared those two movies, The Exorcist and Hereditary, from the standpoint of how serious it was and how it affected people. Because you know all these people who critique these movies and shit. They always talking about this is better than that and that's better than this. And I'm not talking about that shit. I didn't compare it that way. And of course, Hereditary didn't have anything to do with exorcism. I wasn't comparing them from that standpoint. They, you know, the similarities of how it was made and all that shit. Two serious ass movies. Both of those movies affected people in a way that no other movie did, really. Of course, there are many movies that affected people when it comes to being true and hitting people emotionally. But, like I said, The Exorcist and Hereditary, that's the beginning and the end. What's that motherfucker name? Max von Sydow, something like that. I just want to throw this in right quick before I end this video. He was one of the priests in The Exorcist. The actor, Max von Sydow, whatever the fuck his name is. Ain't no fucking coincidence. This is the same motherfucker who played Jesus. See? They think they slick. They got the same motherfucker that played Jesus in the movie. He played the Exorcist. Played in the Exorcist. He was an exorcist. The priest. And like I said, that motherfucking movie came out the same year I was born. Yep. Jesus. Yeshua Pandera is the exorcist. And I cleanse the shit out of this hell house that I'm living in now. It's peaceful as shit. And y'all know why. But obviously I'll go into more detail in a future video. But that's all I got to say. I'm just talking shit. It's Friday. I ain't got no job. I ain't got shit to do. I am the Messiah, Yeshua Pandera. Talk to y'all soon. I'm out of here. Peace.